is calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
And find those 3 points, but it's not over yet.
And opting not to joust on that one, so giving possession here, first possession. They trust their defense, apparently. They need to trust it. They need to get it going. That pass though will be going and showing up, throwing down.
Push this to 3 rounds. Obviously, they have to take this round. It feels tenuous right now, and that's possession.
Yeah, and real quick, Luke's is going to get that one picked up at mid, and very quick, just like...
He's looking to put some points on the board, and there's a quick pass over to Octalizator, and he's going to score these. He scores these unless he's going to take too long at stun. Yes, he does, just like that.
Still, but the Skyline defense is back as the Burners pick it up on their side of the zone. Passing up to the ceiling, passing down to the floor. Another cut pass command on the goal, spun around the back in the law. Slam dunk for 2.
They're evading Spectro, playing some defense on there. A pass connected successfully now to Bob. That is a deep fling, and that is a successful 3. Big boy Bob.
Literally pulling that chain out. Are you kidding me? Look at the little dance. What is that?
Prioritize the fact that, hey, if Astria can score 9 points in 5 minutes, well, so can Equilibrium. Future. And now Invictus existing in OCE with quite the bright future, as Zane seeing the future, saying, I'm going to wait right here. That disc is going to come to me.
You get passed right back, but Vibey Goalie taking it right back. Long three, yes! Mail slot, Vibey Goalie starts it off. 3-13, 10-point lead dislocated.
Pass down to White Fox. White Fox potentially going for the solo, going for the juke. Double, triple. That's going to be a 3v4.
Will not be bouncing high to nobody just yet. Ender trying to get there first. It's going to be Palace to slap that one out. Oh, no way. Strabitsky. You can't do that. That's a 9-point lead there.
I don't know. I guess it's self-explanatory. I'm just curious how that goes. Like, are you guys in the same Discord? You know, the reserve teams and the regular teams? Or, I mean, how does it all work? Oh, it works like that. Oh, Jack. Oh, no. That's it. Sunk it.
It is going to be a scramble on Availi, but never to Rich. Rich to the backboard. Intercepted, though, by Lufu. But it is going to get picked up by Rich again. Trying to dive in, trying to get 2.
It's going to be recovered here by Danmac. Danmac's not able to clear it, though. Recovered again by Email. Email with the anchor shot. 18 3-pointer. That was sick.
Have the time that they need, but diving in. The time is now as they're duding, but no, denied by Anubis, who is able to get that one out, but Leech. But it's one. It's against an empty net. Trying to get the hand on that disc. Gets the 1v2, though. No pressure. No time. Diving in, though. Going for a pass. He's going for the 1v1, and they get it. Oh, my goodness. What was that, a 1v3? 2 points on the board for overkill.
Big bounce pass to Callan off wall, and with the reception pass, passing it all the way to Captain Will, who's pretty much wide open. Just going to take his time, wait for Rosie to pressure, then cuts it all the way to Supreme. Supreme with the cut pass. Wow, he's so pressured. There's so many people in that lane, but he found an open lane and got it through to his teammate. What a catch by Callan.
But if under pressure, takes a shot, but the backline player, O'Chappie, jumping in, sending it through. The stack is good. They're flying through. The goal is open for a moment. They're going to have a window, but it's going to close soon. Pajatek sending it in. We've got a 2-point game with a 1.5 minutes left. Absolutely flying right now, having a little bit of open space, but Overkill also adding their own pressure. Passing over to Big Bot. Big Bot with a little bit of space to operate. Chocolate with a slap in. They're up by 2.
I think it's going to be very good with that chain, collecting the clear, with a cross pass, dodging with the slap as well into goal. Very clean, very fast beam passing right there.
Oh, a goal was not scored, so Acorn is going to get a clear.
Yeah, and maybe Chocolate doing the same thing that Al did on the other side, just forcing, oh, what a save by Al again. So these defenses are stopping so many goals. They're causing players to shoot for pockets, and that's causing big time misses. So here we go. We have got a little bit of a dribble play. That's got a chance. It's going to be a backsack flying in. Al. Oh, what a save by Sweet Tooth. I don't even think he was looking at the disc.
I don't think he was looking. Was that a no-look save? Just put the hand out and hoped, and they got it to go either way. Can they do it twice? No, tried to headbutt it, but a 3-point hit from Al will secure a lead by a narrow 1.
Sausage looking for another pass upfield. It does connect. That would bounce erratically, but Max diving around, diving in, just diving right to the goal for 2, and just like that, it's an 11-point game.
Max with the disc, looking to cross it low with, he's stunned, but he just became unstunned just in time to make that save. Really well done there by Lil Rad. National taking his time, looking for the passes, makes that quick pass to Galti. Galti looking for the cross pass post. Lil Rad with the shot attempt. Paja with the save and the clear, but bouncing straight back into the hands of his own team Stack. The clear does hit Cloud. It is actually perfect for them though, and they get set up for the easy 2, and now it's a tie game. Retrieve it, tries to clear it themselves, but, well, I mean, they technically did, and now they get to dribble with a 3-point attempt, but a goalie's there and makes an awesome save. Killed only 1 here, and now we've got Kronos on the offensive joust. Quick pass to the left tunnel. Scrubs now taking his time, trying to get past that chain. Really good passing here, really good work around the chains, and now they have an open 3 attempt here, and it will go in. That was textbook by Kronos.
Flying in, sending it to the right side. They have it open. Mosh gonna pass to a cutter. Paja Tech coming in. So some really nice bubble passing under control. Calm, cool, confident. That was really nice.
Hi everyone and welcome to the streams. I'm Palidore. We've got a master match for you here tonight. Let's start things off, well I guess restart things off on the stream. It's Kangorillas, the always Thrillas here in VRML season to season, coming up against an explosive team in the Denver Raptors. So with that, I'm Palidore and I know what you guys at home are thinking. Pally, isn't that the same shirt you were wearing just a night ago? Why yes, Twitch chat, yes it is. But as I was telling Newton Dad, if you never sleep, it does not count. It is still pristine. That said, ending Sunday. Yeah, it's still the same day. It's so we're fine. I'm fine. Trust me. So that said, we're getting started here with this match. Kangorillas coming in the season as one of those teams who always, like season to season, they're always there, right? I mean, 6-4 record-wise on the first cycle after the first cycle, and 3-6 for Denver Raptors. But both of those teams, or both of these teams, full of players who, again, I've met in real life at this point. I said the same thing for the Raptors Ignite game the other day, right? I met just about everyone in here. At least, yeah, 3/4 of them in here in real life. So the thing is, these players have been around the scene. They are super, super dedicated at this top level of Echo Arena. And I'm just interested in seeing how this one plays. Now see if the Raptors in the second cycle here can get some juices flowing, get some of that battery going. And with that new entry into the roster, Wit, as you can see here, another one of those players we saw him debut the other day. The first shot off the play, but Wit on a rebound went to the midfield. What's up to the Twitch chat as well? CGF on Twitch and Tyapsa and Tex Yo Cry. We are going into the bottom of the floor where Zach will be left just stunned. So disabled now into a maybe number situation, enabled and into the goal. Changing colors on the way in, but points nonetheless go in the way of Blue Kangaroos up first.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
CGF apparently living at large. Careful, I've seen this happen to many players, including Andy W, currently in the game. But many people getting a little bit confident in their channel point predictions. And then one day, the wrong bet, and it's all gone. Kind of a microcosm of real life here in the Twitch side of things. That said, it's going to be taken. Sorry, that got dark. Anyway, it's going to be taken on the wall by Zach W. Zach over to that bow tie, hitting Wit. Wit trying to dodge through Zenith. Pressing up on the floor. Palace now up to the top. Great dive coming out from Mad. And Mad with the nab, with the clear as well. And down the line they go, though, on the recovery for the Raptors. Right underneath that boots. Andy W kicking it out. Meanwhile, Loveridge able to get there as well with Mad. That double stacks, providing some advantages here for them. But Zenith does get caught out, kind of throwing the arms out in the air as it does sail to the blue zone. Quickly is a recovery from Wit. They have that pizza slice angle, and of course, if anyone knows pizzas here in Echo, it's going to be Wit, one of the Pizza League founders. And that said, they found their first couple of goals. Won't flounder. 2-2. Here it goes. It looks like over on the prediction poll side of things, for anyone interested, 5 apiece, 5 votes in favor of Kangos, 5 for the Raptors, although 82% of the channel points going the way of Kangaroos. So something of interest there. If the Denver Raptors are able to catch Kangos off guard here, cause some upsets, at least as far as the predictions are concerned, some people might be living at large. We saw earlier on during our venue streams and so on, things like that where Envy nearly took Team Gravity to a third round again. They're both close. We had Clover, who right after did take Envy to a third round. I mean, again, upsets on any given day, any given round, very possible from every single Master team as far as I'm concerned, because we've seen it enough happen or become close enough to happening that I don't doubt it anymore. Not that I ever did. Loveridge here with a disc, though, sending it over down below to Mad. Mad able to recover with Palace somewhat nearby, still able to get the pass off, and Speedy V, who also new to the roster as of this season, that is. Not new to this cycle by any stretch, but Speedy. I was kind of excited to see that happen as well. Speedy is one of my longtime favorite players, rivals, what have you, whether playing with him or against him back in the day, So it's certainly nice to see the veteranship here. Now, neither team really able to maintain too firm of a control. It does get lost here into the blue zone, but look at that. 3 players recovering first, overshooting briefly as a bother from Wit and Zach. Nonetheless, taken back by Palace. And CGF. Oh, I'm aware. I just choose not to say the actual name. Doesn't sit right. So watch out. It will be. Oh my goodness, the save. I'm shocked that even happened at first, but we'll still sail in nonetheless. That was so deep in that goal. I mean, nice save. Unfortunately, it'll kind of inch its way in by a hair, it looks like. Punda also in the chat as well. I know there's some really hype OCE matches happening later on as well, so, keep an eye on the schedule, wink, nudge. Will be Loveridge, though, sending that over to Mad. Only 3 goals combined between these two teams in this opening round. Loveridge taking that away in a 2-man game between Love and Mad. Talk about, again, the veteranship. Glad to see Loveridge back here this season. I really haven't gotten to cast these Master teams as much, but you know what? Masterfully done for Wits. Right in the goal, we've seen a couple of great grabs here from either side of the floor. And Wit taking place once again. Cool, calm, collected, saying, hey, I've been here before. Now Speedy, well, left in the dust, momentarily at least. This will open things up for, indeed, a Wit goal. And it's 7-2, a great start now. Pulling away by a smidge for the Denver Raptors. Here, of course, representing the NEPA organization. And halfway through the round, they are looking mighty organized indeed. Twitch enjoying the passes. Yo, cry. Those kind of passes that you see and the team play, that'll make you cry. Same with the saves. Wit there, taking it away. So Kangarillas in danger of falling behind here if they don't get their bearings underneath them quick, because otherwise a lot of these breakaways now, nearly another one there, but Andy being stunned. Still yet though, the numbers, they do recover a slap, but not on tap. It's back into the recovery now from Mad. Missed opportunity there. That was a long time for the 3-on-1 to be a thing, so not sure what happened or what's been happening to the stacks on the other side. But I do see a lot of steals, that's for sure. So into the trap will be picked by Zach W. Zach over to Andy W. on the other lane. Deep down the floor, meeting it along the way was Mad. But you're definitely seeing a lot these days in North America in particular. Those double stacks, much more common than they used to be in this particular region. A lot of teams and players really willing to bank on their speed, their ability to not miss a regrab, things like that, because it's a high risk, high reward type of strategy, relatively speaking, at the very least, but these teams do know how to execute that more often than not. It also takes one missed regrab, and you have conceded an open goal, so it's always that balance, those checks and balances, as they checked the goal that was not totally covered, rebounded by Matt. Flinging it sideways, now frontwards to Love. One more pass, I love it. It's a 3-point difference as Kangos now get back on the board after a minute and a half without a score for either side. That was a perfect series of passes there, all in about, what, a 3-second span. You had probably 4 passes, 5 passes. They were all strung together. Wonderfully done. Love to see it. So Wits with the disc over to Zach. Zach in that tunnel, creeping up there. And you see kind of on that launch, latching on to the bottom of the trap just to avoid the direct line of sight to the defensive stack otherwise, right? To make sure they got the disc secured, but also don't allow the defense to blitz them. Now Andy, this approach hits Palace along the way, and talk about perfect passes, but the defense from Mad. Welcome to the Madhouse. Once again, down the line they go. Loveridge breaking away, squeaking by, and setting it in. It's a 1-point disadvantage for them now. They have come back a couple of goals in a row. And they are taking full advantage now of these breakaways. Tactical timeout of sorts initiated here now, as looks like the Denver Raptors will opt to talk it over. So for those joining here, and I see the numbers creeping up by the minute, it seems like. Yeah, thanks for spending your Sunday night, your weekend with us, for you NA folk, or I suppose for our OCE presence in the chat, your Monday morning. Thank you for being here. Following this match, we do have a couple other ones as well. There is no team versus Go Getty. Is scheduled for about 20 minutes, 18 minutes from now. And if all goes according to schedule, we'll also have at the top of the hour, about 48 minutes from now, Odyssey versus Eternity. So you've got a trifecta of high-level matches, high hype-voted matches at that. Master and Diamond. So unpause now. So just a quick little break. They didn't take the full 5 minutes by any sense. Although it looks like we will be going to radio-style commentary for a minute. So we're going to get back in quickly here, but there's 2 minutes, 13 seconds, a 1-point advantage for the side of the Raptors. So trust you in me and my commentary. We'll get this off as well as we can. Bear with us, bearing down. It's Andy W. here from the Wedge. Nothing happening yet. You haven't missed anything. Believe me. It's down to the trench, though, as it's taken by Wit. Wit getting stunned on their side of the floor, but Zach able to recover there in the midfield now. Maybe a scoring threat about to head into the blue boots. That is to say, the Kangarillas boot. And Palace working that up the field, and a save from Mad. So it's 1-point advantage still yet. Rebound, though, put in by Zach, and now they will be at the 3-point advantage for the Denver Raptors. And yeah, we got one of those very unusual crashes there on the camera side. Not a frequent thing, so apologies for these rather rare unexpected errors there. Got booted out. Game's so hot that I couldn't take it anymore. That said, you missed just one score, and it will still be the offensive push here coming in now from Kangarillas, but the lead still maintained by the Denver Raptors. Right back into it now in the final minute of play. It's Loveridge on the way to Zenith, and Zenith passing it off, stunning everyone inside that goal, but unfortunately the pass did not connect. And that was definitely an opportunity they needed, because the more this clock creeps down, the more they're going to have to consider the three-point play. But if a goal goes in here, oh my goodness, and the disgusting W, making the 11-6 lead. Denver Raptors will push ahead by a couple goals, and unlikely to be enough time to come back. Nicely done. That was slick from the Denver Raptors. So there you have it. And this is why I say constantly, probably ad nauseum for some people if you listen to the streams all the time. But these master matchers, man, don't know what to expect. The records in a vacuum, as siphoning that like a vacuum. Nicely done from Andy and Wit. But those stats, those master ranks, the win-loss in a vacuum, not a great indicator necessarily of the skill level of master teams in particular, right? Because of that cutthroat round-robin nature and just the nature of master division in general. If you look at that isolated and say, oh, this team won 2 games, lost six games, don't let that ever fool you into thinking that they're not the top 1% of Echo Arena. That's why. One team shows up a little bit more, you know. The overdogs are 100%. The underdogs, the overdogs are like 90%. The underdogs are 100. I mean, all it takes is that little bit extra smidge to have an underdog take an upset. But you know, both of these teams are certainly teams I could picture making deep runs into the finals and what have you. So very well done indeed. CGF in there saying, Cycle 1 was a round Kango victory, so Kango could take this back. Yeah, and that's the thing. Although the rosters have changed here, slight bit. You know, the return of Loveridge this season and Speedy V coming into the mix as well. This Kango team, historically, of course, one of those teams known to get better over time, over the course of a match. So does that apply to the roster or the name more? Who knows? It's one of those things. With that said, as a team, by name, they are definitely known for having that in the pockets, the ability to reverse sweep, historically doing it many a times. So I think in this second round, for the Denver Raptors, definitely got to be pleased with their effort there. They played that beautifully, especially in the latter half of that round. They started executing those passes and the defense super well. Just stomp on the gas pedal even more. Not allow any space for Kangos to get started the right way. So that said, back into the other end, it's Zenith walking this up the floor. A lot of defenders in the zone, and out of the zone for that matter. So just spacing out, looking for their extra opportunities and back passing it wisely until they find it, right? Cycle that disc, look for the higher percentage play, turn a 60 or 70% shot into maybe an 80 or 90% shot. And that said, wow, Zenith just walking it up. I think the goalkeeper perhaps anticipating the pass to the backboard area. You saw him kind of sliding out of the goal just a little bit to have an opportunity to maybe leap out if necessary, but Zenith recognizing it. And 2 points, first advantage, Kangarillas. So on this joust, one player, Loveridge, actually getting stranded way back. So if the Raptors can push this, they'll have some advantage. Suffice to say, but there they go, rescuing the day there was Speedy, getting Loveridge back on the defense, so back in position, and now they'll press outwards. Look at the redirect, just pinging and ponging with a supreme speed and efficacy. Zenith losing the handles, however. Meanwhile, Palace, a couple of brawls on Mad and Speedy stack. Not to mention this leech just to cause disruption. Palace playing some good midline defense, although the clear is still a success, and this is going to set up. Oh, the play, but a missed cue, and that is a missed 3, as Zenith, though, still gets the rebound and taps it back to Loveridge in the tunnel. The text in the chat also calling for said comeback, and absolutely, it could very well happen. The amount of round threes that I've personally been able to cast as of late has been staggering. That said, staggering the defense, it's Loveridge now, putting them on the back burner for 4 points to 0 so far. Kangarillas, once more, good start.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Oh, even though Kangos did get bounced in the first round, like I said, you can never count them out. Rest assured, tie-ups, rest assured. Will be launched out here from Wit to Zach. Zach, though, getting taken by that stack. Another fling, rebound, and will it be indeed 3 shots in a row? That is 6 yet to be answered. And no problem, CGF, happy to cast. Get some more of those lately. As I've kind of been saying, I've got to shout out and give a ton of credit to the production leads, including Newton Dad, who's on our cameras right now. But our production leads been doing awesome work and really helping basically enable me to actually get back on these casts more, because I've been missing it, believe you me, for all the different regions. So one of the reasons that I'm currently on 30 hours without sleep. So that said, Andy W with a disc here. Speedy V over into that right lane. A lot of brawling there. Teams sweating it out in the midfield while it gets lost a little bit. With the recovery over to Palace. Some short-range passes, a necessity here to maneuver through the defense, but Loveridge just taking that like candy from a baby, it seems like. Just a snag, a grab, and right back into the recovery. Andy W. No harm, no foul. Loveridge as well. Good communication. Already knew where to put it to, and that was Zenith at the bow tie. But look at this defense. I'm really liking that from the Denver Raptors. They are causing so much trouble, so much disruption. And not content to let Kangarillas play the game that they want to play if they can help it, which is to say, getting that slow offense, getting those midfield spaced out plays and cross passes and whatnot. So not a bad strategy to deny the comfort zone of the opposite squad. As this clear gets sent out the other end, Wits will take it away. 2 defenders in the goal. Now there is one cross cutter. This is going to turn into Zach W, who absolutely will turn it into a 2-pointer. Anytime you have Zach W going on just about any goalie one-on-one, might as well be a 4-on-1, just considering how many moves in the book Zach W has. Although, not getting too fancy with it in that particular play. Didn't need to, apparently. That's the thing, though. One of those players who will just put in every move in the book, and then when you thought you finished reading the book, well, suddenly a new chapter appears. Always an innovative player inside that goal. Driving into that goal, I should say. But Speedy V, just as well, getting that clear and attempting to hit Zenith, I believe, as Loveridge does get possession back for them. Finds Mad, and, well, Mad now will have this grab, but nagged by Wits. Well read and not getting too lost in the focus, basically. Saw the drive coming, but really had the eyes on the disc the entire time. Was not willing to get fooled by any of the fakes. And this will enable Wit, in fact, to secure the goal on the other side. So how about that? Wit acting as fast as a synapse right there. One end to the other. Defense, offense.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And complimenting Wit there, of course. Part of the mod team together. Wit's longtime moderator, and Punda also longtime moderator. I'm not gonna shortchange you again, Punda. I know I did that just the other day talking about veteran players. Legitimately didn't realize Punda had been playing since 2017. That was crazy to me. So don't worry, I will not shortchange your veterancy twice. No sir. That said, Zach W here. No sir. No surrender from Mad. A great grab. Sending that out of there despite all the offensive players actually right in the face, essentially, causing some trouble. But no trouble for a goalkeeper like Mad, as Andy now passing it back to Wit. Now down below to Palace. And right through that tunnel, so off they go. A great leech there, Wit. Oh, but gets baited just a little bit into that stun. And with that, Mad is going to punish. They're up by 4. Kangarillas trying to press on a third round.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Yeah, Trickster a little surprised with that too, apparently. Yeah, Punda and Zeros, both since 2017/18, right?
Teams
But indeed, our region's growing every season to season. So into the midfield, Andy W. 3 minutes left to expend still, so neither team really in firm control. I mean, Kengo's a little bit of a lead, but not enough one to rest your laurels on for sure. Loveridge is going to press up and try to send that into the goal off that kind of sidewinding fling, just the full wingspan extension essentially. Players converging on the trap. Tapped to the side wall where Palace recovers. Palace down the lane. Now the stack for the Raptors were already out and underway before the clear even happened, but they do get a little bit buried there in the Geo on the floor. So disc being lost once again. Quick on the approach. Kane goes. There's Mad. And see if they will tango indeed. 10 to 4. 2 minutes remaining. King Gorillas told you about their tendencies, historically speaking, to get better over time in these 3-round series. Those reverse sweeps has been a thing. Speaking of reverse sweep kings, need I remind you, we also have there is no team playing next. Need I remind these players, the disc is right there. Now, that said, Zenith sees it, and easy as ABZ, they go up 13 to 4. So, you know, it happens. Need I remind people, because every time we have these matches in the ladder as well, I say this when it happens in gold, silver, bronze, plat, etc., right? Because we see that sometimes. I always say, don't worry, it literally happens to every team, including Master, every season. So, it's going to happen to you, but it's how you rebound that matters the most. Now that said, into Palace's arms, Palace sending it backwards. Only 4 points in this round. So much different kind of pacing here as for the Raptors, they have not been able to get the same type of offense that they had rocking and rolling in the prior round. So definitely in a much more comfortable position now for the Kangos. And they'll go into the tunnel where it's rebounded now. It's Palace, but no, Mad actually getting both a stun and a steal on it. Trying to slap it out of there was Zenith, but directly into Wit with a quick reflexes and the quick Wit as per usual. Now, with that 40 seconds remaining, Kangarillas, they will be forcing this round 3 here soon. The question is just by how many points. Now, if they can help it for the offense there, Wit's trying to send that one in, but had that sideways momentum, could not tag the goal. Palace rebounded from the cloud, a favorite spot of many Raptors players from many teams. In days past, as nothing's going to get past Mad for another attempt. They're going to send that out. Mad feeling in a good defensive rhythm, just the same as anyone else here. Player who's long impressed in many a clutch games across the seasons. So up top it's going to go, but Zenith picking it off, sending it through. And with that, they know they have this one in the bag. Not the sealable bag. Shout out, though, to Seal. Streaming earlier on. Kharkov, I believe. Or I assume. But with that, successful defense here. And offense, for that matter. For the Kangarillas. All right, sorry about that. Just quick communication in the Discord. That said, yeah, great round from the Kangarillas. So, we saw already, keep in mind that the Denver Raptors in round 1, actually, I think the beginning of round 2, I don't know. Time is a figment of imagination these days. They already expended their timeout is what I'm getting at. So the thing is, they're going to need to use this minute, or up to 5 minutes, whatever the case is, may be. Raptors are going to need to use this intermission to their fullest extent, because they know if they get down in any kind of hole early on in round 3, they're not going to be able to talk about it beyond the 15 seconds or the 13 seconds in the launch tunnel, basically. So something to definitely be aware of and pay attention to. On the flip side, Kangarillas, they'll still have that available if they ever do need it at any point in the 3rd round. So yes, there is a pause indeed. Switch chat anticipating that a bit, perhaps. And yeah, that sound of that horn in the back line will indeed be the pause. So up to 4 minutes enabled here between the rounds, because you factor in the 1 minute timer on the mid-round intermission itself. Not actually a rule I was aware of. You think I should know stuff like that. So shout out to Luke for updating me recently. But that said, let's chat while we do have a few minutes there. Yeah, what's up, guys? Got Aquay in the chat, or Aqua G. Flynn Rider. and as well as Tricksters and Panda, Text again. My weekend's been good, thank you. Like, admittedly, as I mentioned, I might be on a slight lack of sleep. But, what I live for. Now, too much of that, and I won't be living for it, but I'm just happy to be back in the casting booth, like I said. I'm pretty sure this is the first time all season long I've been able to stream at least a match every day of the week. So, like I said, it has been too long. So I'm glad to be back here. And the fact that you guys are in here, you know, chatting and hanging out, scouting, supporting, whatever it is. Appreciate you guys, man. And a friendly reminder too, as I do see in my DMs, I have a Spark link. So yeah, round 3 coming up soon. We will have, following this match, the aforementioned other reverse sweep kings of sorts in There Is No Team against Go Getty. So obviously, Tint, they're a team that I am more than familiar with casting many a times over the months. For Go Getty, not quite the same. Yeah, in the sense that coming in fresh this season as a roster. But they're in the Diamond Division, they're 7-4, so that's going to be a team to look out for as well. Because as we've known and as we've seen, these Diamond teams, they are the masters of the future. That said, who else and what else is in there? Oh, I'm realizing I'm missing some other stuff. My bad, see, the lack of channel 1 at times, it makes me forget you guys need me to say certain words and phrases sometimes. Same. And Blonde VR. Yeah, I'm back. Well, you're back as well. Yeah, I mean, as always, we appreciate any support and subs, bits. That all goes back to the casters, of course. But as I always buffer that with, just you guys being here in the chat and kind of hanging out and watching, that in itself is more than enough as well. But you know, any of that goes back to our volunteers, Twitch funds and whatnot. So wouldn't be just me. It goes to everyone, just based on the proportionally how many matches they've casted in relation to everyone else at the end of the season. So I know that question comes up sometimes, so just in case you guys were curious. But yeah, that said, maybe another, well, let's see what the timer is right now. Got about 30 more seconds until these teams would have to start preparing for that next round. And as I said, smart move, because the Raptors have just dropped that round knowing that they have no timeouts left in the middle of the game. No more technical or tactical timeouts otherwise. So, using it to its full extent, there's the unpause, and we are about to start round 3 in about 30 seconds. So, get warm up those hands, grab the popcorn, grab a drink. I know I need one. Brainsy, you stop that now. See, there's such a thing. It's a joke. It's satirical. But you spread that too far, and people will start believing it's true. Not true, Rainsy. That said, here we go. So everyone, buckle your seatbelts, and well, prepare for a barn burner of 10 minutes on this decisive round 3. Once again, I'm Palidore, Newton Dad on the cams, going right into it. And of course, shout out to everyone in the chat and our great sponsors as well here in VRML Season 4. Off to the races, and let's see, the start here for the Raptors in particular is going to be super important. They need to get off onto a good stride. Zenith, oh, that was a nasty play. Unfortunately saved by Wit, who has been on point defensively here in this game, has picked many of those shot attempts off. Otherwise, would have been a great highlight. Wit getting stunned. Speedy quickly passing it over to Zenith, who does evade past a couple of defenders and sends it over to Loveridge. A Loveridge that will bounce off that pack, and Mad trying to complete a play for 3. But another one tapped over, dive from Andy, but Mad again, those arms. We've seen some of those steals, and the passes as well. Completion, and 2 points on the board. Kango's the famous extra pass that I always talk about. Anytime I say that when I'm commentating, when I'm casting about other teams, it goes back to Kango's. It goes back to 2017, 2018, because even more so than my team when I was playing. Kangos were the passing team, like the premier passing team. Right alongside Fangasms, I suppose. And shout out to Guygasm, who again we will be seeing on stream here right after this match on Tint. A lot of history here in Echo, of course. That said, trying to make their own history by taking this round. The Denver Raptors, they want to get started in this second cycle the right way, and no better way than against a team like Kangarillas, who may be the favored team record-wise, but as we've seen, it can go either way, and it is going to go and be put into layaway by Zach W. Rebounds it on his own shots, puts it home, tied up right there. Flynn Rider, Guygasm. No, Guygasm was on the Fangasms over in 2017. Original Kangarillas was Loveridge, Grumpiest Broom, and Sealable Bag when the game was still 3v3. Which, although I know a lot of people are pretty up to date and up to par on their Echo history, a lot of people also aren't aware at this point because most of the users came in the last year or two thanks to Quest. A lot of people not even aware that prior to VRML, for the first 2 years of Echo Arena, it was all 3v3 everywhere. That said, a one-on-one in the goal, and that shot is exactly where it needs to be, right at the kneecaps just about. 4 points to 2 for the Kangarillas. But yeah, this game, both in public matches as well as private matches, used to be 3v3. And I kind of thought, 4v4 was, a somewhat of an inevitability, or at least like a natural progression. It made sense that it might have happened eventually. I do think, and I thought back then, still think now, 5v5 probably would need a little bit of a bigger arena to accommodate, but either way, there was a point where 3v3 was getting a bit stagnant in terms of the meta and how much you could do. So adding that extra player, just look at how many possibilities it's opened up for these teams, especially at the master level, who need to take advantage of all those new possibilities. They need to be able to take advantage of this new positioning, the new stackage, the double stacks, the dive defense. I mean, all of it. It's magnified in 4v4. The intensity, so much higher at this level of play, and just with this kind of numbers. Just an hour of 4v4 as a score nearly had there. Rebounded and taken. Loveridge, though, taken out of the mix with a stun. Back into the top bubble. So Mad now from the shoulder. Eyes it down, and they're up by 4 after 4 minutes of action. But, yeah, the thing is, I can remember the transition between 3v3 and 4v4 that happened basically in Pizza League Season 2 back in spring and summer. Or summer and fall, I should say, of 2019. That's what kind of when it switched over a bit, and even in regular scrimmages, non-Pizza League scrims, people started doing 4v4. They felt like that was the future. But I remember just an hour of 4v4 wore me out just as much as maybe 2 hours or more of 3v3 did. Just the actions per minute increased so dramatically. And the amount of physical exertion that you needed to have, and needed to put forth in every single round, every single match, just increased. So with that, so did the skill ceiling, and it still does yet. On this approach, the Kangos extra pass buffet right at play. Loveridge from Speedy V. Could Speedy have taken that shot? Yeah, sure. But did they go for maybe a higher percentage one? Yeah, they did. Good dunk in from just 1 meter in, basically, right in front of the goalkeeper. They're up by 6 halfway through the round. And into the chat, one of my recent favorites, YGMA. That's how it's pronounced. Stopping by, appreciate you. It's going well. Hope you're doing well as well. That's a lot of wells. Well. Do we have a match here? And without further ado, into the goal. It's gonna be Speedy V trying to take advantage. The Loveridge on the cuts, but no, smart move here to back it out because actually the 4 players for Raptors were able to get back in the goal even faster than I was expecting. So numbers opportunity. Maybe on the other end of things, that goal opened for about half a second, covered off by Speedy. Approaching his Wit, that was going to be a tough drive. 3 different players basically pushing at the same time on Wit to dislodge the disc. Taken back now by Zach. Zach right underneath the feet and into Wit, who backlines it to Andy. They'll be just fine. So they are not too far behind at all. This point differential can be made up in the span of just a couple seconds. Cut in half is that lead, 8-4. Palace able to put them up back on the scoreboard after a minute of play. So back again, nice touch from Palace. As I say, we to quote quote everyone's favorite red-headed orphan, you're only a play away. And one joust is all it takes. So turnover here, they'll be right back in it. Loveridge trying to deny that opportunity, but here it goes. Like I said, they gotta be careful, especially as they try to maneuver around this side of the floor. Back into the midfield, taken by Wit. So the turnover indeed is a reality for at least a moment, and they can bring it back within either 2 points or 1, depending on how bold they get. As I say that, unfortunately, Palace losing the arms, it looks like. It's still gone, maybe through a controller, I'm not quite sure. But either or, Zenith on that approach. 3 minutes remaining here in action in this decisive third round. Wit taking place in the goal. Wit, who's had, again, a handfuls of saves. 5 to the credit so far. Might even have more than that. So you know that's going to be a factor, certainly for Kangarillas when they move up the floor. Well aware that they got to take care of that guy in the goal before they make an attempt. You can see a lot of distraction happening there. So will be Zenith that extra play. The pass from above to below, but Mad being stunned in the process. Speedy, another take back. Talk about things that these teams are historically, classically known for. Well, of course, Kango's also the stall game. One of the things they're very good at when they need to pull it out. Although I'm sure at this point you can say the same. Hold on. Oh my goodness, it's close, but no cigar. That said, you know, any team here has to be good at basically everything. The double stack games, they have to be good at the man coverage. They have to be good at the dive defense. They have to be good at the stall. That's how you become championship contenders. So we'll see. 2 minutes left. But if Kangos are able to get this disc back, you can effectively cut that time in half, because they will be glad to waste clock if you allow them to. But definitely the Denver Raptors, they are well aware of that situation, I am sure. They're doing their darndest to get back into the mix. There it is. Take back, trying to find that right lane priority clear, but we'll take a rough bounce to Loveridge now. Loveridge does have that pass up potentially to Matt. It was above the goalkeeper, but a turnover. There's Zach. So Zach to the other end. Zach into the stack back again. They'll eventually get it. Just took the scenic route. Out will bounce, but a recovery with no contests. It's Speedy. So Speedy sending it over. They are looking now to Loveridge. Loveridge to Zenith. Zenith being stunned. And Palace now with a disc. So this is their chance. They've got a minute left, but a double KO and a slap out on that disc will dislodge it right to the direction of Mad, who meets it and midfields it. Self-rebound to Mad. Another clear attempt, but another ricocheted attempt. And you see occurring because of all the defenders in that midfield zone, just trying to evade the hands, if nothing else, and let the bounces do as they may. But that said, be it as it may, there's only 47 seconds left. Somebody call a hitman, because in a moment here, all according to plan for Kangarillas, they are going to be in position to take this away. So Raptors need to score. They need to score right about now. Otherwise, it will be a game. And with the 30 seconds on the mark, just about that time is gone. 8-4, maybe another score about to happen though, right below the bottom of the goal, taken by Andy. Andy into the midfield. Still time for another play, yet to at least make the difference closer, but in this third round thriller, as the bounce goes off and nearly into the goal had it not been for Loveridge. Be honest, I wish he didn't save that, because I was ready to get hyped. But nonetheless, it's an 8-4 win here for the Kangarillas. And Denver Raptors, very, very close. You saw all the way through. I mean, that upset potential was certainly there. Unable to capture it, however, but on that note, while I would love to stay here and chat it up, as maybe I do too much sometimes, we do have the next match coming up. So with that, we'll leave you on a quick intermission. Congrats to the Kangarillas for winning. We're going to redirect, though, into our next match with There Is No Team against Go Getty. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the game. Appreciation to these teams for waiting for us because we've got some teams. There is none, and there is one. There is two, actually. That is to say. So we've got there is no team on the orange side coming in the diamond division. And just as well for Go Getty, looking to go get it on the stream. My first look at them this season. Actually, same for Tint. I've streamed them a lot in seasons past, but this is my first look for both sides. So, as ever, always, I'm Palidore. Usually. Newton Dad on the cameras, right beside, and will be joining me for the remainder of these streams. Potentially another one coming up again after this one to let you guys know. Although I did make the teams aware, Odyssey and Eternity, that we could be delayed, and it looks like that will be the case. So, match number 3 is a maybe, but match number 2, it's a go. Getty. So, let's get back into it, guys. We will get you those polls here in a second. I got you your points at the very least. But that said, welcome to the streams once again. This is our final day of week 6, which is to say we are a little past that halfway point now of the season. Going by in a blaze. So with that, it's Guygasm with that first disc taken, but right back to Akishi and sending it up into the barrier where it will be pinned off by a white dragon. Over to Akishi. And back to Raptured. So Raptured getting stunned out. Actually, Nathan able to dislodge it at the very least on the drive. Nicely done from Tint. Into the other side of the floor now as these teams try to line up their grabs. That will be a walk-in goal for Rad Nathan P. So definitely in the presence, as you see on Tint's side, always bears mentioning, presence of veterans, the presence of devs, the presence of, well, just two teams who are no doubt going to kill it here in the Diamond Division. You know, Tint has been very consistent in that, despite the fact that their roster has shifted a little bit here and there, you know, plus or minus one player with each season they've been in the league, essentially. They've always been right at the top in the Diamond mix somewhere. Guygasm from an assist, with an assist there on White Dragon, and on that goal. 4 points already on the board for There Is No Team.
8, 7, 6, 5.
That said, to the Twitch chat, sometimes I'm worried you guys are a bunch of addicts, but that said, here, I will get that for you right now. You got 2 minutes on the poll, starting now. There you go. So back into the midfield as it will be Raptured getting stunned out into the top of the trap now, taken by White Dragon. White Dragon on a clear into the trap. 4 players all fanning out. Yeah, some of them into the defense, some of them just in the trap, trying to get that disc back though. And Raptured now, they might find themselves at an open goal for Go Getty, but they cannot get the disc, at least not right away. So they will have to take the tougher route and do it against the defense, as the defense does dive out. Meanwhile, Akishi with that recovery over to Mad, and Mad, not from Kangos, but Mad, the bro, into the goal. It's 2 points, and they have now broken their seal.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
So let's see here. On
3, 2.
on this season here, Go Getty is 7-4 on the record, pretty impressively. Anytime, again, the higher you go in win streaks, and especially the higher up the ladders, the more and more impressive any kind of substantial win streak becomes, as Akishi becoming 1 with a goal. They are now in the lead by 1 after conceding the first 2 goals in a row to Tint.
9, 8, 7, 6.
So for Tint, they are 6-5 record-wise, and they did drop their last match against Hurtston. Well, that's a hard one. Anyone who knows that team name, I haven't casted them yet. Now I'm kind of looking forward to it. I love me some tongue twisters sometimes. Anyways, that said, on this play, it's taken here by Akishi. But Tint did win the 2 games prior to that. Actually, make that 4 games in a row before that. So I mean, they've had a good time here in this season. And right now, though, just having a bad time, courtesy of Akishi, who scores again consecutively, which is a bit of a redundancy, but never you mind. 5 points for Akishi.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
For Go Getty, they won their last match against Mach 5. They did drop the match before that to Light Bulb. But outside of that, I mean, they've had success against many teams here, including Relativity, Echoholics, Chloroform. I mean, they've been putting in some good wins against some recognizable teams here in this league. So, not one to be mistaken. They're trying to quicken this pace, but a little outside the reach of either the goal or the receiver. Either or, it will sail into the midfield, where it's overtaken by Akishi, who's been maybe a bit of a hot hand. I mean, a third one, and you would say most definitely is. Now, Joe to Mad Bro from the midfield. And that will be a passing play up to Raptured. Raptured has some defenders in the area. The dive, maybe a little ambitious onset dive, left the goal open. We're not punished for it, but a rebound there to Akishi from the shoulder. A good reset just in the short range. And now a pass over to Joe, but Joe could not find the goal. The White Dragon will find the disc. Now on a fast track search and destroy into the blue lane, but taken back once again as they press up on the floor for Go Getty. Beyond the reach there of Akishi, and Akishi resetting as well. So once more, I mean, they've not been able to get a lot of their scores here yet for Go Getty. I do like the fact that they are lined up correctly in terms of their spacing. But I think maybe a little too much heat on some of these throws, some of these passes, making it a little bit more difficult to catch than they would like. And they're allowing this window of opportunity now for potentially for Tint to get back into it. I know I mentioned Kangarillas that we just streamed last round. Well, watch out for this team in Tint, because as Guygasm scores there, Tint is also a team that I am used to getting more and more warm and more comfortable in these matches over the course of the round. They don't always start out with all the fire, but certainly by the time you get into the latter parts of the first round or into the second round, historically speaking, they do tend to have a very noticeable ramp up in terms of the power. So, something to be aware for sure. Go Getty wants to pile on as many points as they can and not allow any chance at any rhythm for the side of Tint. So disc recovered. Madbro underarming it over to Raptured. 9. Raptured on that pass. Maybe the two-man game. Make it a three-man game. And a slam dunk from Akishi. And that is the third goal from the aforementioned. Score is 9-6. Favoring the blue squad in Go Getty.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Looking at the prediction polls as well. Go Getty, the advantage 7-4 in terms of people thinking that they're going to win. And also 71% of the channel points. Thus far, I mean, it's playing in that trend. They have a little bit of a lead. And I'll see if this maintains. Will be grabbed by Joe Mother. Not mine, but Joe's. Taken by Mad Bro, and it's a goal. Bro, 11-6. They will go up by a little bit more, creeping up on the scoreline.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Of course, on the note of those channel points, I know most of you guys know, but for those who don't and maybe stay out of it, or just out of the loop, you can guarantee yourself a match cast. Because the thing is, tonight, for instance, right? So busy on the NA Primetime side of things. There's so many matches, and a lot of them with double-digit hype votes, the thing. They had probably 30 matches happening all in a 2 or 3 hour span. So if you can secure a guaranteed cast, says maybe a goal, guaranteed goal, no! Oh, Chicago, hello. But it will be 3 points cut in now. Down by 3, that is, for Tint off of that. So they will be glad to take it because they are still in it as a result. But yeah, you can use 15k channel points, which you gain, again, either through prediction polls or just by simply watching the streams. And that will be that's one of the effective ways to guarantee that one of your upcoming matches within the next week or so of a redemption will be prioritized for a stream officially by VRML. That said, officially in the goal, Dylan guarding that like a watchdog. Shout out to our mod, and oh my goodness, trying to go for the steez, but absolutely denied. Dylan filling it up on the stat line, but Akishi, well, the same case. Akishi continuing to burn it up. 9 points in round 1, just for Akishi alone.
8, 7, 6, 5,
Trickster over in the chat.
2,
I disagree. Don't promote such things. Horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day. Although, again, yeah, channel points, a nice thing, a fun thing. That said, it's going to be Dylan passing and finding Nathan on that cut. Nathan, one of those players, for anyone who's played with Nathan in whether private matches or pubs over the last 4 years now. Always compliment Nathan for two things in particular. Number one, a great team player, very, very willing passer, just a smart all around, knows how to position and is happy to enable his teammates to score. And number two, bounce shots, particularly the midfield off the bottom ramps or below the bow tie and barrier and stuff like that. Just a very pro player when it comes to eyeing down those angles on the bounces. But here goes. Oh, they might have had the angle, but they do. Oh, prioritize a three. Silly me. That said, 15 seconds left. So could it happen here? They can't turn it over. That's going to be a brawl, and a few brawls, in fact. That's to the midfield. Only 8 seconds left, so Hail Mary needs to happen here soon. Wouldn't be the first time I've seen it from Tint, mind you. There's some clips out there. But that said, that will be one, and it's done. The round, that is. So, winning that one is Go Getty. Not by a huge margin, but just enough. Trickster saying, Pally, they call me the Trickster for a reason. Very low key. Anyway. Cheers. That said, Mikey, pretty good round so far. Also asking about the front row there, 100 bits. Yeah, 100 bits gets you into that little front row that you see, in the bottom of the replays. Again, one of those things where you guys don't have to sub and give bits, but when you do, we of course appreciate it. The casters here, of course, top to bottom, casters and crew. I mean, all of us volunteers, which is why we're able to do what we do constantly, hours throughout the day and all the different ranks, because we're passionate about the game. So, indeed, if you come here just to support, watch, chat, interact, that means a lot in itself. But if you do appreciate the things that you see and the things that the casters do and provide, then by all means, we always appreciate any donations through the website or bits or subs or otherwise front row redemptions, things like that. But as I said, not trying to shill too hard because I'm just happy to have you guys here. So it's an optional thing, but never something I'm going to ask of you guys directly. Either way, happy to have you here again. You can be in 1,000 different places right now, doing 1,000 different things. And yet here you are using your weekend, your Sunday night to hang out with me, with Newton Dad as well. So always appreciate that, guys. That said, we're into the second round now, and that shot is going out right underneath the floor, underneath the feet, as they take it by the ceiling to a pass guy from up high and into the winding dunk from White Dragon. Love it. Getting it done. Does bear mentioning on that note, though, because it just happened this week, a few days ago. Have to shout out Fars, who a few days back, 100 tier 1 community subs, all at once, gifted in the stream right after one of the Ignite matches. That was nuts. That said, that goal is open, and that's gonna make a team nuts when they recognize that. Tough giveaway, but fully punished. Good job from Go Getty with a recognition.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
With that, off into this joust again. See, Big Bad with the redemption earlier on the hydration. I'll get that in a hurry, don't you worry. Brad Nathan, though, off into the bottom of the floor. 3 different players space on said floor while Nathan approaches from that middle lane. And that is going to be sent off into that left lane. And down they go. The stacks there, the boost first for Nathan, but not far behind, was indeed a Rapture. Rapture taking place at the boot, maybe allowing some space for the teammates to potentially recover and pass it, seeing if they can get that to go. But it will be turned over into the blue lane. A perfect setup for a score had the Tint players been able to reach there in time. But instead, Joe Mother with a send-off into the floor, into the mid-floor, as Akishi, who was that hot hand, had those 9 points in round 1, seeing if they can get some more on the board, but neither team really able to maintain too much control for a moment. And so goes the flows of Echo. But alas, it will be Mad Bro with the disc and passing that off. And yet again, another one of those ricochet bounces, right? So teams will get in those kind of modes sometimes where it just seems like everything connects. And in the next moment, for the next few minutes, nothing connects. That's sports, though, and that is... Oh, my goodness. That's a goal. That's a goal. White Dragon, you just took away the title from Nathan P. I said Nathan was known for the bounces, but Dragon says, watch this. I'm white hot. I'm flying. I'm skying. I'm making. Pally's not minded. Pally is rhyming. That's at 5-3. And that is a big score for Tint. So that is one of those plays that can definitely gain momentum for a team in a hurry. So something to watch out for here. The only thing, defense trying to get back into the goal, not concede any more of those walk-ins, because otherwise that was a dirty play coming in from Akishi. Wrestling with the opponents like Rikishi. Too old of a reference? Probably. But 5-5.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was a heck of a move. So just as much as those full court or three-fourths court flings like from White Dragon can get a team going in terms of finding that rhythm again, well, so could moves like that from Akishi, right? When you put in the those dirty plays, those ankle breakers or the dusties or the enders, and then you get a pretty hype play off of that. Now that can get a team feeling mentally engaged and energized once again. So still yet that bouncer just narrowly missing the backboard, taken back here by Joe and into the goal, sailing off a ding. And they're back here on the scoreboard. It's 7-5. Very close second round. We still have 6 minutes to go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thus far, 11 points for Akishi leading the way among both teams. I like the fact that 7 out of 8 players in this match already, 15 minutes in, 7 out of 8 players have at least 1 assist. Several have even more than that. So a lot of the team play paying dividends, and has to be that case here in 4v4 as they make their way scrapping buys and trying to get their stacks all up in a line. Always a game of inches, it seems like, despite the fact that these players travel for miles. All the meanwhile, Guy Gasm dishing it in for the 7-point tie. Off of that putback, right in the middle of the goal, in fact. But yeah, game of inches, right? Because you need to be so fast these days in Echo Arena, but you also need to be accurate. You can't be too much of one or the other. If you're too accurate, you're too calculated, basically. You know, you pass too slow for the sake of accuracy, well, you're going to have the turnovers. If you're too fast, trying to get to the disc first, but so fast that you misread the disc and overshoot, well, you're going to have turnovers. So it's the tightrope of a balance that they have to maintain. Bouncing pass over down to Akishi. And I definitely think for Tint, they got to recognize a hot hand on that line and just keep Akishi covered if nothing else. Make somebody else score if possible on Go Getty's side. Go Getty, of course. You just want to feed the hot hand. But that said, back into the trap. That will bounce sailing into the goal, overtaken just with a split second to spare. Slung into that midfield. It's Joe with a disc once more. Raptured, maybe the intended target for that first pass. Either or, though, will get it eventually. Now 2 players creeping outside on the defense, so this would be numbers in the goal. However, they miss the catch, and out dives the goalkeeper. Meanwhile, Nathan rotates to take his place. So that's the kind of communication you like to see. There's some more of those steezy moves, but the great pass at the end to secure it. Raptured, and the goal captured. For that matter, they're up by 2. Less than 4 remaining in round 2. And Mr. Liji, pretty sure I did say your redemption. I mean, what was it? Let me know. I feel like I said it, but remember, by its very nature, try to be sneaky about it if and when possible. I might be wrong, though. That said, up into the top of the bubble, it's Dylan being stunned by 2. But that said, gets it over to Nathan. There's a pass on the cut. What a save coming in. Rapture, nice work on the defensive duties, somehow maintaining focus through all the clutter and all the cluster. The defensive sauce, the defensive mustard, whatever the case is, trying to play catch-up here for Tint as Dylan makes a move on the goal. Wow, that pyramid shot was nearly good, but alas, it does sail past. Now that said, taken there by Guy. Good pass, and look, it took him a few attempts, but they got the rebounds, and the persistence pays off, as it usually does.
11, 10,
I noticed it after the game. No, I'm pretty sure I said it. I said it towards the end of the game. I'm pretty sure. In fact, I remember. I did say it. You just missed it. Although it wasn't a sneaky one. But I remember it well because people were calling out bars after I did it. So no, I definitely got yours yesterday. But in any case, that will be taken here by Rad Nathan. Maybe hold that thought. The disc held here by Raptured. We're at the 2-minute and 20-second mark. So getting into that crunch time, where I always say those last 2 minutes is where every play is so much more important. Game deciding, potentially, in those last 2 minutes or so. We shall see. Akishi does see the pass, lining it up. There's Mad to the backboard, right underneath the clock. Oh, there it is, the extra sauce. It's Akishi, rolling right in and rolling to the rim. Shout out to Tim Hortons and our Canadian friends in the chat. Roll up the rim, roll up the rim. 11-9. Also, Psychaotic in the chat, welcome to it as well. Our great mothers of these, moderators, word slip, of this league. Happy to have Psychaotic here. And this has been a stellar match so far. It's going right down to the wire, down by 2. Will the third round come? We will see in the next 90 seconds of action. Dylan with a disc and losing it actually into the trap, but White Dragon should be there to meet that disc right back, and Gygasm just as well with some leeches. Passing it off, but a bouncing goal, and now an open goal, and a slap away in the shot. That is a huge and crucial slap. Now let's see, they need to defend again, and they will. Some big defensive plays coming out for Go Getty. As I said, these plays could be game-winning, but they are still yet again at the defense as a persistence. Will it pay off yet again? Yes, sir! Red Nathan P. putting it home. And it's 11-point tie, and we are in the deep end of this deep blue. But I ain't feeling blue. No, sir. 11-11. We are in for a clutch something. As I say that, though, a crash. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, 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 no. And a timeout just in time. I'm shocked they actually got that off somehow. Woo! About to go full TikTok and sing that song. The last thing you want to see with 37 seconds left and a tie-up game in the second round is a 3v4. So, good to go on that end. But yeah, a lot of our moderators stopping by. We saw Wit in that prior game. Of course, we have Psychaotic in there now. We have Arrow Knight, who may be streamed here next. Again, we did inform them that there is likely to be delays. So if they wait, we'll stream them next. Of course, Odyssey playing up next was scheduled to, that is, but a tight schedule versus Eternity. So given how this match turns out, I mean, we might be ending it here. We might go another 10 minutes. Either or, though, we will roll with what we've got. And that said, we've got ourselves quite the match. Now, this crash is unfortunate in a sense, because coming off of that goal, I'm wondering if this will maybe ice tint a little bit. I mean, whatever the case is, both teams now losing a tad bit of that rhythm, as they will have to get their thoughts back in order and prepare for this potentially final joust of the round. I mean, whatever happens, we are guaranteed game-winning something, right? I mean, either an OT, or we're going to get a game-winning defensive stop, or we're going to get a game-winning offensive hit within the next minute or so. So we'll see. All right, so on that note, we have a Ryruff among us. Good to see you. Gilligan, speaking of our mods and govs and all of the aboves. What's up, Gil? Gil has joined for the thrill. So not a lot of time until this one is over. Launch underway. Big plays about to happen, so buckle your seatbelts here. Into that midfield. Tied up, locked up, trying to lock down. White Dragon gets that rebound. White Dragon up the floor. Now in position to maybe make a last play happen for one side or the other. Big turnover, but big grab. Wow, White Dragon, no way. Oh, that is so close, but grazing by that barrier, that sneeze guard, as Sputnik does said. That said, really quick on the floor. It's Guygasm causing a turnover, a passover. Could it be? No, a denial, and overtime is about to happen here on Channel 1 on our final day of the week. Finishing out strong, not weak. Wow, stoppage in that goal. It was looking like Tint was about to pull it out, but no. Fantastic plays there to just stay latched on to those offensive players or defensive assignments. So Go Getty is looking for this joust, trying to get there first. They do. A headbutt play into the bubble, and now out the bubble. Moment teams, you gotta know that adrenaline is pumping, because I know mine is right now. Getting stuck in the midfield with some stuns. Akishi there, who has been certainly a beast, a juggernaut on offense, but taking it away is White Dragon. White Dragon, who's had some clutch plays in times of yore and seasons of yesteryear. Has hit some game winners at times, and now it's Dylan, maybe no, about to find the goal. It was open, but the opportunity gone. Still yet, though, a rebound from Nathan. They'll have another go at this one against the Go Gettys. So a pass across, but the disc lost on Dylan, who does get stunned in the process. Tapped out there. Tint needs to get this disc back if we want to see a round 3, if they want to see a round 3. But getting the disc back, the pizza slice, no! It's going to be missed. 1 minute left in OT. This is sudden death, and I'm about to be dead at the moment because this is too intense. Joe sending it over to Raptured. Raptured, the handoff play and the stun. What a dive from Guy. Coming in again. Oh, and the win. It's done. It's dunked. It's 13. And the game, the sweep. It is taken by Go Getty. And they went all right. Wow, what a game that was. Near save at the end. Tough as always, but that said, that is a massive save. A lot of replays, highlight-worthy moments. Congratulations to Go Getty for clutching it up in the end, but just as well, Tint right until the very end, and sudden death did not go down without a fight. So on that note, kind of same case as last time. I would sit here and talk and analyze a bit. I would love to, but we have another match, our final one of the schedule. So Odyssey versus Eternity, that's coming up next. So with that, great match. Thank you guys for having me. And we will be right back with one more. So do stay tuned, and we'll be right back. All right. Hello. I'm away and now I'm back. So we are back here. I'm Palidore. We got Newton Dad on the cams, and we've got one more match here for you on the North American branch on this lovely Sunday evening for North America. We have Eternity on the blue. We have Odyssey in the orange. This is a match you ought to see, indeed. So prediction polls are up currently there. Thanks for the reminders, chats. I know how you need your fix, better for worse. You've got about a minute and a half or so to get those votes in. Closing momentarily, so another minute, get those in. And Also, speaking of getting things in, we've got Gillig in with a Cast My Match redemption. Wait, what? Wireless Jacks confirmed? What? Did I miss something? I'm confused. Okay. Tell me when and where, I guess. But on that note, I guess Gov apps are open again for another 24 hours. Anyways, Wireless Jack, shout out, who still do appear on the pre-stream default video, by the by. So, they will live on forever, at least for this season still yet, in the pre-show. Gilligan just playing. Well, how about I accept those points? Because I'm just playing. That's okay. I'll refund. That's it. Yeah, thank you guys for joining. One more match here to go. We got Doc Education in the chat. What's up, Doc? How's it going? Not too. I don't have to go into super detail, but how'd things go? Just curious, you know. I don't want to poke the bear if things didn't go. Anyways, so yeah, hopefully to cast Amoeba soon is my point. For these teams in here, coming in once again at the Diamond Division, so it's been Master and Diamond all night here across our channels essentially, and we just came off that stellar one, Tint versus Go Getty. Ended in 2 rounds, which is always a little bit of a shame, but just from a selfish standpoint. But from a competitive standpoint, I mean, it went to overtime. You can't ask for too much better than that. It was a fun one, suffice to say. But that said, for these teams in Odyssey and Eternity, certainly not unfamiliars to the viewers on our streams today. I mean, they've been streamed a handful of times in the Diamond Division. 3-8 record there for Odyssey, looking to kind of pick it up here in the second half of the season, which this roster is certainly a team who can do just that. I would not be surprised whatsoever to see them make this a nice push in the second half. Eternity, meanwhile, 10-3 on the record, coming off a tough loss. A couple of losses against Spaghetti and Version 1. Actually, no, take that back. Version 1, they won that match. But coming off a tough loss against Spaghetti about a couple weeks ago, which, you know, Master Team now. And they still, you know, put up a decent little fight there. That said, a more than decent big shot. Chewy stack, okay. Go get it, Chewy. 31 meters deep off of the first joust, only 14 seconds expended. That's the one way to start it off. How about that? How about that? And Doc saying needs some pick-me-ups. In that case, you know what? We'll get you another day. We're gonna see Amoeba. We're gonna see Amoeba and Diamond yet. I don't know. I have a feeling. But of course, that's one of my favorite things I always mention, right? Is the rise of these teams who I see in one season, you know, in bronze, silver, gold divisions. Next season, those teams are getting into your platinums and diamonds and masters. Top to bottom, keeps happening every time, so it's a really always fun stories to follow, as right now trying to follow up this brawl with a recovery. It's Ascend just kind of waiting patiently there, just came to him. So Ascend is going to work this up the floor, back to the backboard, and Zeus! Oh, that was unusual! Zeus going for the trick shot. Didn't know Zeus was a billiards player. That was nice. Alright, so points to Chewy stack, sort of, but really, Zeus, I guess, the credit, although it won't reflect on the scoreboard. 3-2. Joust advantage going to blue. Now, with that, into the midfield it goes. Some brawls in the blue end of the floor, actually, will disable a lot of mobility for both the teams before they finally split off, a couple of the players at least. It's Arrow Knight with a disc checking up behind, and oh, that's going to ricochet right back. Talk about those bouncers. Well, that bounces over to Slads. Oh, but nice grab from Mamba. Getting back in a hurry. Now back into the blue zone, a little bit too far to the right. Igneal, who's always a very big deal inside that goal, will send it clear, and that might have been another bouncer, jeez. Nonetheless, though, Mamba taking it away, able to get back efficiently for those stacks on Odyssey is what you do like to see. Take back from Ascend. Look at that. In the mix of tall trees of defenders, still able to find the goal. Puts them back up now by 1 point.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
Catboy in the chat saying, hey, Pally, just made my own team. The Cat Boys. Well, how about that, boy? All right. If you're being serious, then welcome to the league, to the Cat Boys. That said, Chewy Stack, boys will send it into the left lane, and off that clear, taken by Igneel. Dribbling down the floor with some success. There are all the defenders, in fact, inside that bubble, now splitting into the outside to contest a bit. So what do? They back it up, and they move it forward, trying to find their better angles if they can. Will be sent here to Igneel Sensei at the bottom. Slads going on the goalkeeper there, doing a good job to just disrupt. Meanwhile, the rest of the teammates trying to find their passing angles. Cutting off said passing angle, Arrow Knights. Great defense. And then almost, man, how many times now? These near goals on these full court flings. We had one of them go. The other two getting really close, though. As it goes to Arrow Knight. So, you know, a big task, certainly, for the side of Eternity, who are trying to defend against Odyssey right now. Mamba, great hit in that pocket. Dr. Pocket, shout out Dimwee by the by, who's on the mend, and we hope to see Dimwee back in the cast here in the next few days, just as a side note. But yeah, this is going to be a tough task, a tall task, certainly, for Eternity. I think it's a task that they can certainly meet. But as I mentioned, their recent loss happened against Spaghetti, who is now a master team. They're going against Odyssey, who these players were master players in months not too long ago. You know, these are players who were there and could very well be there by the end of this season. So Odyssey for Eternity, they're going to use this one as a measuring stick of a match to kind of gauge where they're at and exactly what their progression is going to be like. If they can take it to that next level, it's a question, because there is without a doubt no doubting the fact that the 10-3 record is amazingly impressive for them. But as we've seen, for instance, in Challengers Cups, right, where we have teams like Anomaly who struggled to find their wins in the Master Division in Cycle 1, and yet they absolutely smoked it in the Challengers Cup. They dominated. They had some stellar clutch moments right there. In the clutch is Mamba, clutching the disc, that is, and with a nice touch to put them up 8-3. So my main point is you have all these teams in Diamond who I feel easily, there's probably a dozen of them who could take it to that next level and become a master team in the not-too-distant future. But there is definitely that measuring stick, like I said, where those top 10 players of North America, of Europe, and these divisions, master divisions, you judge those records in a vacuum, you will be sorely mistaken on the skill level because, there's just a big difference. So a shot there, a bit ambitious. There were 3 players back for the defense, able to secure the male slot. Slads with the disc. Gilligan asking if you can use bits for the front row for someone else. I don't think so. That said, that shot also don't think so, but it was a good attempt. Valiant effort there. Captured back by BG. BG up the floor and sent into Mamba's arms, who was just hiding there in the grass. Meanwhile, into the blue zone, taken by Chewy Stack. No stack, just a boost. Still yet got the disc loose, and even the bounce off the wall, but similar case, Zeus now in the defensive zone. So we're seeing a bit of that pinballing, backwards and forwards across this midfield. First team to be able to slow it down, execute a few passes in a row, as opposed to these clears, I think will be the team to have a better chance of scoring next. And we see it right there. Pass, and complete. Success. That was a thing of beauty. Long range heave from midfield to Zeus. Hockey assist now, and then Zeus for the final assist to Mamba. That was a gorgeous play there, capturing their 10th point. And on that note, Gilligan cheering with the 1,000 bits right there. So appreciate that very much. Thank you, Gilligan, for that support. And again, everyone else who's continued to watch here tonight, as the open avenue may be there for an opportunity, but that will be sent by Igneel Sensei now into the opposite side of the floor. A goal is open. They could use this. They got it. Chewy Stack, this time with that stack. And they are right back into this first round. Thank you again, Gilligan, the 1,000 bits. Of course, one of the, not only a longtime supporter of VRML from multiple aspects, I mean, casting, moderating, governing, but it's always a pleasant person to have on the stream and in the community. Again, all of you guys who support here by watching or contributing in any way, whether just chatting or with the subs and bits, appreciate you guys very much. Like I said, you can be anywhere right now on your Sunday night, and yet here you are. Ascend with the disc. There he is. Ascend just patiently showing some good focus to not get too bothered by that nearby defender. Arrow Knights with the disc in good control for Odyssey. And as we get into this final 2 minutes, you do know that the players for Eternity has a good shot coming in. I mean, there you go, Air Knight pressing up. You could expect that the stall game might be a factor. They're going to want to pressure the Eternity players into a situation where they're maybe not as comfortable, or they don't want to be, right? No one wants to have to play inherently out of the goal all the time and leave the goal open, you know, when they don't have to. But you're down points. Yeah, you got to start picking up the speed, picking up the aggression, get your double stacks together, and make sure you don't let go. Don't leave each other behind, because otherwise, with that, let's see, a passing play to Mamba, who's just trying to find the way and looking for an avenue. Mamba right below, found said avenue, and into the goal, but unsuccessful on that. So many bodies inside the same general spot. Down the floor. Again, they need this. Can they get it? No, they will not. 1 minute 20 remaining on that miss. Unfortunately, would have brought them within 3 points. They could have really used that goal. Eternity, though, still not giving up on this play. They are stacking and blazing by. Lightning striking, in fact. And that set off the pole, pinging for Isen. So this will still leave the window narrowly open for Eternity, although Mamba does grab it back off some pretty good midfield brawls. And to Air Knight's arms, here you go. Oh, kind of an awkward loss on the disc. Dribbled it through, but still anchored by and got the disc back. Wow. Some good concentration by Air Knight. 45 seconds remaining, and if they can stall this even for just another 10 or so, I mean, they should be in pretty good position. You see, they're doing just that. They're going to drag this one out to the bottom of that clock, right down to 0 if they can help it. That said, though, the defense is pulled out. Igneel, though, never doubt the defensive chops of Igneel. That said, even right there, got the hands on it, it will still be a goal at the end of the day. But, hey, a loss here in the first round to Eternity, but you can see exactly why they've been as strong as they are. Like I said, this match would be a test against Master Caliber players who have been in Master Division as of recent seasons. You know, they lost, not by that much. Round 2 could be totally different. So well done to Odyssey, though, taking care of business at first and showing that experience, that veteranship, where they realize at the end of those rounds, hey, we've been around the block, we've been here before, we know what to do, we know how to concentrate, hunker down, and just close out in a nice, calm fashion. A lot of spit just went flying there. I'm kind of hoping my camera isn't that HD. Anyways, that said, guys, appreciate you guys once more for joining. Trickster saying, follow Igneel on TikTok. Igneel's on TikTok. I gotta go follow if I'm not already. That is some sick talk. Saying, remember, gamers, gambling is okay as long as VRML's it's a VRML Twitch stream. I don't support that phrase, but you know, it's fun, and as long as you don't take it too seriously. I worry sometimes, but I know people enjoy it because, hey, if you get that good intuition about you, right? If you know how to gauge a team and matchups and you're accurate more often than not, I mean, yeah, you can get those 15k points for the cast my match redemptions even quicker. So, just saying, it's a way. But even for those who don't bother with the prediction polls, if you do tune into the VRML 1 streams daily, we do stream just about every single day, with only a few exceptions for like break week and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's feasible, especially if you're a sub. You get 20% more channel points, I believe. It's feasible within like a week, I think, a week or two, to get those 15k points. You know, just by tuning it in and hey, you know, turn on VRML while you're working, while you're doing homework, schoolwork, you know, whatever the case is. Have the stream on, listen to some commentary, listen to what's happening on the teams, and support VRML further, right? Closer we get to those consistent 75 viewers, you know, across the month on average, I mean, closer we'll get to partnership here on Twitch, which would be an awesome thing. So, like I said, it's not just about the bits and subs. Even if you guys just passively are watching, it's going to help us along the way. Now, watch out, Igneel Sensei. Just very, very well experienced and confident inside that goal. Another save, turns into a clear, turns into a brawl, turns into slads, turns into the goal. That's enough of the turns, but let's see if they can leave them burning. No, the dive on Igneel might have had a goal had it not been for the defensive pressure pushing out. Grabbed at the top end, Chewy Stack getting stunned out. Air Knight with his 2-on-1. What a pass to Ascend. Not an easy catch. There was some heat coming off of it, and that was a close range pass, so it is very easy to miss on those connections. But credit to the good reflexes of Ascend, who can do a variety of things without a doubt. But worth noting for Ascend as much as anyone, Ascend is a player that I've seen on stream here across the seasons who have had these showings where Ascend puts on these sick streaks of saves inside the goal. And you know, those kind of skills, they do translate to the catching, the receiving, just like that. Just has the reflexes to make it happen. Arrow Knight trying to make something happen once again. Ascend is break there. Doesn't need him because Mamba's cutting as well. They had two different options, and they find the right one. Mamba, 4 points now on the board for Odyssey.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7,
Moonlight Strike, sorry for the late reply. Trying to scroll up here and keep up. Going well. How is your weekend going? Oh, and you're on the phone, so you'll get this even later than... but that said, yeah, hope things are going well for you too. Good games. I did just stream you, I think, yesterday, right? So good to see Moonlight Strike, the Moonlight Sonata. That said, can they make some music there? No, not a goal, but still yet back to Odyssey, who name of their game so far, even in this round. Still kind of control. You can see, even when they're sending the disc the opposite lane, they're not. They don't look panicked. They're looking cool. They're looking calm and collected. Just the mark of a team who, they know their game, and they're confident in their ability to execute this here. There it is again. Zeus from Arrow Knight. A passing clinic they're beginning to put on here in these last couple of rounds. Very well done from Odyssey.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Pat also asking, Pally, you tired yet? Yes and no. This would be our 33 of being awake. I did get a 1-hour nap, mind you. Other than that, though, yeah, it's a bit of a long couple of days. That said, once these matches start, I actually do get wide awake. It's only in the intermissions and the lulls when I get tired again. The matches itself, I am quite awake and quite energized, excited. Slads here, they would be much in need of that goal, but they cannot get it because another save out there. So we'll be right back into the opposite end. Still scoreless yet for Eternity in round 2. And now the pressure coming in, and a grab from McNeil, contesting well with Zeus there, who was trying to stun him. But down the floor, picked off. The angle of opportunity, Ascend, though. Talking about the defensive chops for Ascend just a minute ago, and, well, getting into the goal to save the day as well. Back to the midline, they will stack. Now Ascend with this push up the floor, has Zeus in tow, has Mamba below, has Igneal in the goal, and denies, saying no. Otherwise, that would have been a steezy play. Highlights of this match for sure. That was almost Globetrotters-esque as they do trot down the floor, trying to go coast to coast with an open angle. There's the pass, and you know what? I like it. I do. The thing is, if that particular shot had missed from that pizza slice, the other two players actually were not in that great of a position to rebound if it had missed. So, recognizing they're down 6-2, but there's so much clock to burn, going for more of the 90% goals, saying, okay, I got someone on the backboard on the clock, I'll just secure this 2 points. We're going to get it done and break that seal one way or the other, and they did. So well done from Eternity. They are still in this game by all stretches of the imagination. Time is it for me? Only 7:30. West Coast here, Arizona. So much like Arizona, we're still heating up in round 2. Arrow Knight with the drive, and Mamba this time. That was gorgeous. Oh man, look, the thing is, what happened last time that they did that move? They had a passing play, Mamba was cutting the same way, was approaching with a reverse dunk type of angle, right? What happened? Igneal saved it. So, a minute later, same play, same kind of setup. Mamba coming in with a reverse dunk. Instead, opts to fake it, opts to not go for that goal, and then brings it around the back for the dunk. Big brains. Little stuff like that makes such a big difference with these caliber of players. And it's not something that maybe you immediately notice, but man, is it that important to be able to throw variety in your game. That's the thing, the higher you go up the ladder. Autopilot is a killer for master players, for diamond players. If you ever get in the mode where you're too autopilot, you're not throwing enough variation in, that is the moment you're going to start losing the game. So that said, wow, what a pass. Chewy stack to BG. And that is a big goal. 8-4.
12, 11,
That was a very well done and executed snappily. That is a word. Not quite sure. But in a snappy fashion. And it had to be because there was defense all over both the passer and the receiver. So if that wasn't a quick reaction time, it would not have been a goal. Other side of the floor will be Arrow Knight working it up. And once again, I mean, a light advantage here, 4-point advantage for Odyssey, but Eternity, as I've said over the weeks, they are a team who's right there. I mean, this is one of those teams you can certainly expect to be reigning supreme in Diamond and perhaps one day in Master, but like I said, there are a dozen of those teams. They can make the case even better as they bring it within one. Slads with a goal open and a 14-meter distance. Close the deal. They're within one. Like I said, it's ridiculous level competition. There are a dozen teams in Diamond Division that I can all easily see being in the Challengers Cup and potentially getting Master by the end of the season, or if not now in Season 5. But as I said, this is a measuring stick game, measuring stick match for Eternity against 4 Master caliber players who have been there before. And so far in both rounds, despite the round 1 loss, they are still providing. But we will see as we approach the last 2 minutes, that crunch time, that clutch time, getting the disc. There's Arrow Knight. Arrow Knight's with the teammates' insights. Out of sight, out of mind. And once again, falling behind for Eternity as Mamba gets a 3-point advantage for them. Nice score in the bottom of the second round. Also, shout out Furcar in the chat. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well as well. Rooting for Galaxy. Think you guys have a chance. Is that... hold on. That's a shot being missed there. Is Galaxy back, or is this... am I being trolled? I'm never quite sure. I know Galaxy existed for some time last season as well, but you never keep up. You guys change teams like I change shirts, which I should say, like, not recently. Anyways, we'll be Mamba here with a disc, and Mamba with a shot. A couple of fakes is just enough to get it right past Igneal. Not an easy task, suffice to say, but 12-7 on the scoreboard.
11, 10, 9, 8.
Also, Lolo in the chat there, a rostered member of Eternity, rooting on the team as they face this tall task. And Nuthowl in the chat also, not OCE, no sir, but OCE will be seen a little later on. Minute 20 remaining in this second round. Couple of goals advantage here to Odyssey. Big turnover, but turned right back instead. Knocked loose a few different times. Igneal playing that back line. Igneal needing to get it out of there. Wow, that sack was redirected so quickly. Down the floor it goes for Odyssey. Look at just that quick pace. Only just missing their regrabs there, but otherwise they were latched on for quite a long time. Now Igneal playing back in the goal, but at this point with that disadvantage on the score, they definitely got to play, I think at this point, that double stack. They need to get everyone out of the goal and into the midfield. They cannot afford to be too defensive at this point. So down the floor they go. Zeus is going to send that to the left lane over to Mamba. Mamba eyeing it down. That will be too far to the right, but a rebound should be had by either Ascend or Arrow Knight there. Ascend able to wrangle it, and the time basically out now as a result. As I was saying, they have players in the goal, but they just could not afford to be that defensive in the last minute, unfortunately. So this will indeed be the win going the way of Odyssey with one more dunking it home for Mamba. How many times have we seen that from Mamba in this round? At least thrice, I think. With that, kind of goes back to what I was saying, right? Measuring stick, master tier teams, and players who've been there before. Meeting the measuring stick on a lot of areas was Eternity, but clock management at last minute. That's one of the things. If you wanted to take a direct comparison, look at round 1, the end of round 1, how Odyssey was able to manage the clock. They had a lead, and they stalled. They were playing the stall game very well, and that stall ended up winning them that game by a couple of goals. End of round 2, look at how the clock management there was for Eternity, where they really needed the pressure, but just not recognizing perhaps the situation, and then playing in that last minute too far back in the goal when they were down by, 5 points, like 2 goals. So those slight differences, right, where that's very fixable, very, very fixable, make no mistake. Something that's easy to review and easy to get right next time around. But that's all I'm referring to when I'm saying like master big brains, right? Is how do you manage the little nuances that it's not immediately obvious on the stream for everyone when they're watching. Clock management, big thing. Shout out to Team Gravity earlier on. had some huge clutch clock management to win them their games in the bottom of the 2 rounds that they had against Envy, for instance. So little things like that, but Eternity, they are still on the up and up. They are still on the rise for sure. And Odyssey, they are eyeing down some success in the second cycle, heading into the latter half of this season. With that, everybody in the match here and in the Twitch stream, thanks for showing up again all night long. I've been Palidore and Newton Dad, of course, on the cameras, and you guys have just been fantastic. Yeah, great week. I need some sleep, I think, but it's been a fun time. I apparently missed a caster shout-out a whole hour ago. Soggy the Menace. I don't know if Punda's in the chat anymore, but Soggy, you're a menace. Shout out to Soggy Budding Snacks, by the way. Had, what was it, 16 points in 1 round for OCE just the other night. One of the more impressive scoring runs I've seen from a player. He hit like 3 full court type of things. He had a Kung shot, a Cloud shot, full court like bouncer off the ramp. Yeah, so shout out championship caliber player there on Leviathan. So even though I'm late, I'll still give the shout out. That said, yeah, cheers to all you guys for just an incredible night. Doc Education. Oh, cast my match. Absolutely. We will get that for you next week, without a doubt. Another one coming in from Avoid Dash. So 2 cast my matches. Okay, do me a favor, guys, if you can, just for my own sake and sanity. DM me on Discord if you're still in here, just to make it a little easier. Tell me your team name, and then when you schedule your matches, we'll get that for you, absolutely. I think that is all I missed. So, good. Okay, so good games, everybody. Rowdy Artifact. I opened the stream this way. I'm wearing the same shirt as last night, yes. I have also not slept since last night. So it is the same day for me. So haha, you lose. Anyway, I've been Palidore. That's been Newton Dad. Everyone at home, be happy, be healthy, be safe, be good to each other. And I'll see you real soon, especially over there in OCE. Have a good night.
And we're underway.
Season 4 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, VRware, Rebuff Reality, VR Cover, and ProTube VR.